particularly watching the release timing on bow side there, making sure the top edges are stepping out together. Again, entry and release timing on bow side. You can see from Chris down the boat, there's a significant difference in when the catch is taken and when the top edge comes out. Dreamy, every now and then you're also just a little bit hesitant in that lockup. It's probably taking you about 2 or 3 frames to actually get the blade buried there, and that will certainly help things along a bit.
Don't be stupid, idiots. Good work, Sharpie, good leadership. Back him up there, Sticky. Sharpie's going, you work with him.
Sticky, just making sure you're not getting caught too far behind the work there.
Just come out early, elbow through, James. Don't want you to row hard or just row long. That's set up. Then sit back, elbow through, the shoulders. Okay, first, okay, the 8. Moving row now.
Just watching that sequence there, James, lifting up off the catch a little bit. You see your body gets tall straight away. Nico, really tight that inside shoulder, just make sure that stays nice and relaxed. Okay, Sticky, just watching those legs, just not going right down onto the deck. They start well and then they stop. You need to make sure you push them right down. Longer stretch off the back stew with the outside arm. Yeah, Sharpie there, just need to be able to confidently open up a little bit more. That comes back to posture in your spine as well. Be able to hold the shoulders back, open up a little bit more through the back turn with the body. Nice and relaxed, Eddie, just a little bit tight. You see, just trying to pull yourself up the slide a little bit there. And if you start getting like that up the slide in the stroke set with those 2 big guys behind you, the rhythm's going to get really tick-tocky, so make sure you stretch, relax your hips as much as possible, and let the boat run out forward. You can see also Eddie every now and then just a little bit of pause before placement, and that's where you're going to make up the time. If you can control your run forward and you're well prepared, you'll be able to place more directly, and that's where you'll make up the rate. Really see you pulling those knees up before dreamies. Open up Sharpie, open up the back, especially at rate. Just watching that body getting tall straight off the catch there, James. That's where the legs have to work first. Get that sequence right, practice it on the ergo before we hit the water. Now this is a section here really noticeable in that timing. Look at those blades down the line there and the difference in timing all the way up the boat. And you can see dangers where it starts with that little bit of gap between the bottom edge of the blade and the water. We'll see some sections later on where it's actually quite a bit better. There, you can see it's pretty obvious there. It's just progressively, everyone's just a little bit slower each seat than the one in front of them. Because we're actually not matching up that timing, it's actually really hard to determine whether the angles are right. Like, the angles generally look right, it's just that we're not actually rowing to the same position at the same time every stroke. See the sort of basic timing, even though dangers we can't see your oar there, but generally the timing's a bit better here. This is a section where you're just a bit more relaxed and worried about pushing and distance per stroke, not so much about rate. And this is just some of the light paddling towards the end, and even there, dangers, you can see closer to the water before the catch, and it's finding it easier to get locked up at the same time. And we'll see in a session when you go a bit closer into you can see you're a bit more willing to hold that hand up as you come into the front turn, and that's probably, it's probably about where your chin is. It's about, your approach to the front turn as much as anything. It's going to make sure that bottom edge is close and therefore able to lock up quickly at the front end. It's hard to tell in the earlier footage, but when you get under a little bit of pressure and the head drops down, the hands follow down to the toes there, and that's where we start losing that space between the bottom edge of the water and the bottom edge of the blade and the water. That's where we need to be able to be confident to rise up, particularly in that right hand, and don't let it drop too far as you square up.